is W2FJH. We'll be starting the STNY digital voicemail here in just about 5 minutes. We do have NetLogger up and running. For any folks who wish to check in early, you can find NetLogger at netlogger.org. We also do have our Google Meet up and running. And if you wish to join us on Google Meet, you can find the link at stnydmr.net. So we'll see you folks in just about 5 minutes here. This is W2FJH. This is W2FJH bringing up the STNY digital voicenet on Brandmeister Talk Group 31367, Wires X Room 83721, and live stream to Google Meet and YouTube. The primary purpose of the STNY digital voicenet is to help foster an active and to provide a forum for those that are interested or have questions regarding various digital voice topics. While the net is primarily for listeners here, all stations are more than welcome to check in. This net meets weekly on Sundays at 7 p.m. For more information about this net, please visit stnydmr.net. This net will prioritize short-time, mobile, in-and-out, or emergency power stations. We currently do have 6 other stations checked in through NetLogger, so the net would like to recognize N2QFD Mal, N2NRA Cliff, W2KDC Dennis, K3BYC Carlton, N2NCD Paul, and KE2CLV Travis. All right, when checking in, please give your call sign, your name, and your location. So let's first take a standby for any stations that are short time, mobile, in and out, or emergency power. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's open them up for any station that would like to check into the STNY digital voice net this evening. Please call now. Net control, N30JP, Chautauqua Lake. Net control, copy November 3 Delta, Quebec Delta, Ray, Beaver, Pennsylvania. All right, and I'd like to recognize N3OJP Mick and N3DQD Ray. Were there any other stations to join this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's kick things off. If there's any announcements for the net this evening, please call now. All right, nothing heard there. I did have one quick announcement because it actually impacted one of the local hams here. I was helping somebody debug a problem and they couldn't get onto their hotspots. And just to be aware, I'm not sure if anybody else in the net has a DMR ID starting with the number 1. But there is an important, if you go to news.brandmeister.network, there should be a post from January 22nd of this year regarding those folks that have DMR ID starting with 1. They'll be converting them to starting with the number 3. You have to go onto radioid.net, and there is a box that will end up converting your ID to start with 3. But it looks like the ham I was helping out there, they have started to kind of cut some of those people who have a number 1 in their DMR ID. Is the first number is 1. He was having trouble connecting, and in brandmeister.network, couldn't go to self-care page, and had to convert it to a 3 before we can actually do anything with the self-care. And without self-care, you don't have a DMR hotspot security password, and so it was a bit of a mess there to try to clean up. So just be aware, if you do have one, please go to news.brandmeister.network. So, all right, moving on to questions. If there's any questions for the net this evening, please call now.
This is N3DQD with a question.
Yeah, N3DQD. Ray, fire away with your question there.
Okay, my question is this. For C4FM, do you just use your radio ID number, or do they issue a different type of number? It seems to me they have a different series of numbers that they issue for that.
Oh yeah, as far as I know, for C4FM or if you're connecting over to YSF, they're just going off of your call sign. Now, if you're going from YSF to DMR, it will typically turn up whatever call sign was of the hotspot, unless you actually have a DMR ID. Um, and then that was just for me setting up, the Wires X bridge and stuff like that. I've noticed that anybody coming in, say, um, somebody, was just on Wires X and they didn't set up a DMR ID yet. If they come into this room and they're talking on Brandmeister, the Southern Tier Talk group here, you actually will see my call sign W2FJH pop up on DMR, and it's because it can't locate a DMR ID for that YSF to DMR conversion. But as far as I know, YSF does not have any other IDing system similar to how DMR ID. You need that ID to get onto most DMR networks. But I will open it up if anybody else has any additional comments or comments for Ray there. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so hopefully that help address your questions there, Ray. Or if you do come back, and what area were you looking to add some sort of ID for C4FM or Wires X or YSF?
I was just looking at N3DQD here. I was just looking at C4FM. My bridging system will do all of those modes, P25, C4FM. It will do actually half a dozen of the digital modes. And I was just curious if you needed another type of ID number to use the C4FM and the reflectors, etc.
Now, to the best of my knowledge, there, Ray, Yaesu kind of set that up for amateur radio use. DMR was more or less designed for amateur radio, but also for commercial use. I know there's a lot of commercial, but just locally here, there's a Tadwood Downs that I know uses DMR for their housekeeping and security and all that. So it was also designed for business use. But yeah, Wires X and Yaesu, I think I think they're just based off of call sign. I don't think there's any other IDs or anything you have to get. So hopefully that answers your question. And if you do have any other questions on doing like DMR to YSF, definitely let me know. Maybe we could meet up after the net sometime and get anything figured out there.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to that. This is N3DQD.
All right, very good there, and thanks, Ray. All right, was there any other questions for the net this evening? Please call now. All right, nothing heard, so we will move into comments. And the net topic this evening is about Discord. Our Discord server is open to all hams and non-hams in the Southern Tier and beyond that share an interest in amateur radio, but it is not used very much. So I'm looking for any suggestions or feedback on things we should do to encourage more use. FYI, the join link, if you haven't joined our Discord server, the join link is on STNY.dmr.net. You'll see a Discord button right at the top. That'll pop you over there and you can join our server. So, all right, top of my list is M2QFD. Mal, how was your week?
W2SKH and 2QSD. Good evening, Frank, and good evening to the net. Good stuff tonight on the net to kick us off. I don't have anything I can contribute for Ray. The Discord question, though, that's a good one. It seems like I've used Discord servers more often than not for troubleshooting issues with specific technical problems. I know it seems like there's a lot of the ham radio world using IO groups. I'm not sure if there's a favorite flavor there for a reason. But I think the last time I really used a lot of Discord group stuff was also as a side channel for when we were doing bigger nets. We that way you could have a little back channel. Although locally we tend to do that more often with 2-meter repeaters if we're doing an HF net for the handful of us locally that are in the net. So I guess that's something to think about. We'll turn it back to net control. Here's N2QFD.
Hey, thanks, there, Mal. And yeah, I have heard of IO groups a few times as people were discussing things and and overhearing there. But yeah, we had a net ways back now, I think, and people were asking, if we did anything with Discord, or maybe we should have a Discord server. So I did set one up for any folks that were willing to join there, and I kind of made it more open, and just anybody, in the Southern Tier, any hams are welcome to join there. As opposed to kind of like restricting it down to some list, or only inviting the people that have been on the net or something. I've just kind of left the link open, and so far, knock on wood, we haven't had any problems or anything from malicious actors or something getting the link and trying to jump in the server. So, but everything has been good there. It's been real quiet. Some people join, and we don't really have much activity. We do actually have talk groups, talk channels that basically you can jump in and you can actually just voice chat with other people without having to give over your email or join links or anything like that. You can actually just jump in a voice channel, and anybody's free to come and leave, kind of as they please. This way, it's kind of like for a better term, it's like the old school chat rooms, if you remember them. I kind of join the chat room and then leave the chat room anytime, but it's actually with voice. So, but yeah, it is a little nice feature. But yeah, any feedback on like how we could possibly use some of them, it'd be great. So, all right, next on the list is N2NRA Cliff. How was your week?
This is N2NRA Cliff. Good evening to the group. Thanks, Frank, for taking over the net there to net control. I have to get with Mel about Discord server information, but otherwise, a lot of geese flying north, red-winged blackbirds last week. Robins showed up Monday, and nice spring weather coming. Looks like Tuesday up in the 60s. And the Aldi's in Owego, the Riverview Nursing Home folks say it's going to open in April, Frank. This is so back to net control.
Hey, thanks for Cliff. And yeah, you did remind me. I actually did ask the wife, and she gave the same description there. It was going to be sometime in April, but she didn't know what day or anything. But yeah, I did ask the XYL there for you because I didn't know when they were opening up. So, yep. And yeah, I tell you, I'm contemplating on just taking Tuesday off and taking a vacation because this is going to be so warm. I don't know if I can let that day go by and be stuck at work. So, all right, next on my list is W2KDC Dennis. How was your week?
Oh, hi, Frank, and everyone on the net. My week was fine. As usual, nothing special. My wife's had some health issues, so I've been dealing more with that. As far as the net topic, I'm not sure how to get more use out of Discord. I've got a number of groups, Discord groups that I belong to. Uh, exam tools for the ARRL VEs has a that's quite active. Uh, and WPSD for tech support kind of stuff. But some of the other ones are very quiet, just like ours. Uh, so I don't know if people, go to the 7.3 to post a comment rather than to Discord. Uh, I guess my question would be, do we really need both? Uh, you know, just maybe work with one or the other. That's just another thing to toss out. That's my comment for tonight so far. W2KSKDC. I don't even know my call sign. Back to you, Frank.
Hey, thanks, sir, Dennis. And yes, you do bring up a very good point, and I was thinking about that myself. Honestly, a lot of the 73.net, well, it is nice that you can publicly say things and people can visit it. People really the one benefit is that people who haven't joined 73.net can go there and see the public posts and everything that people have said, but basically they're just viewing. Um, but other than that, I was thinking about it, and you're right. If anything, I would say Discord is probably a good replacement for 7.3 if we ever had to take it down or do something with it. Um, Discord has all the capabilities, plus some, that you can actually jump on voice. But you can still display pictures and all that. The other thing I could think of is that I know Ed NE2W. I don't think he's on the net. Well, he's not on the net this evening. He may be listening, but he's not checked in yet. I know he posts some pictures for galleries of different events they have, and while or at least to the best of my knowledge, I don't think you. I think you can make posts and attach pictures to it, but it will kind of get lost in the sea of messages as things go up and everything, and they're not like kind of a section of here's some photo galleries of pictures from different events we've had. But yep, I would think Discord, if we ever had to move over, Discord would probably be the thing to transfer 7.3 over to. So good observation there. All right, next on the list is K3BYC Carlton. How's your week?
This is K3BYC, Carlton from Darlington, Maryland. Good evening, Frank. Thanks for taking the net, and good evening to everyone who's checked in. Um, well, the weather is warming up. We've got a very warm week coming up, so I'm happy with that. I did get my mobile install into my new car this week, so I feel complete there. As for Discord, I've never used it. I'm not familiar with it. I've only heard of it, but not enough to not know the first thing about that. So I do have comments for Ray on the Yaesu System Fusion. Uh, as far as going through the hotspots or some of the open spot, whatever you're using, either crossing over or going straight into it as the open spots will do. There shouldn't be any ID. It's just pretty straightforward there. As far as Wires X, now these hotspots don't do Wires X. Yaesu is very proprietary on that, and I'm going to reset here. Wires X can only be accessed through rooms or nodes, which do take IDs and registration. If you just want to talk to get onto a repeater that has Wires X hosted or some other station that has it, all you have to do is just transmit into theirs. If you want to host your own room or node, you actually buy special equipment. There's an interface called an HRI 200. Then it's going to take two Yaesu System Fusion radios and a computer. It's a lot of hardware. And most there are a lot of rooms and nodes around, so you would have to register if you go that far. If you're just participating on that, if someone else is hosting it, you shouldn't need to do that. Of course, that also raises the question: if you're going into D-Star through a hotspot or an open spot, would you, because they have reflectors, would you need? I know you have to register for D-Star. Uh, uh, would you have to use your ID from that? So that's another question. But the short answer, just from the open spot and the I'm going to reset. Short answer is going through hotspots, open spots. You only get YSF and NCS rooms, which is kind of a backdoor form of Yaesu System Fusion, but that's not WiresX. You should just do whatever you do to convert with your device and get into that. That's the extent of my knowledge here. So that's all I have, and everybody have a great week. This is K3PYC. Back in the control.
Hey, very good there, Carlton, and thanks for clarifying all that there. And yeah, so actually, I do have so just for knowledge there, unless you were deciding to open up your own room, you don't need the HRI 200. If you get like I have a Yaesu FTM 500, those you can. I forget if I had to buy the cable separately, or well, there might be a cable separately that has to connect to your laptop or PC. Um, but those you can connect directly into to the WiresX software, and you can use it as a node, but it's not hosting a room. To actually open a room, Carlton's right. You need an HRI 200. Um, and just by the way, Carlton, you mentioned that you needed two radios, and I forget the technical details of it, but I remember, well, I have our bridge is actually only running with one radio. I remember thinking, do I really need a second radio? I just need the room, and I need to connect to it. I'm not using it as a repeater. I'm just using it as kind of a portable node. But yeah, I was able to get away with using just one of them. Um, so there's actually an FTM 400 that runs the link between what it runs the WiresX software, and it actually broadcasts out locally over RF, and it comes into a different hotspot, which does the YSF to DMR conversion into the Grandmeister talk group. And that's as far as I know, been running fine. But always wish we had more people coming in through WiresX. But definitely, Ray, if you're already on DMR, don't bother doing the whole conversion to get onto WiresX. But anybody who had just Yaesu hardware itself, I'd like to see more activity coming in through there, just so I'm not the only one checking to make sure that bridge is still up and working. This way, somebody could email me or notify me like, hey, the bridge isn't working, so I could actually see what's going on with it instead of finding it weeks later. I'm like, oh shoot, it's down. So. All right. Before I get to my next station, let me take a quick standby to see if there's any additional stations that would like to check into the STNY Digital VoiceNet. This is W2FJH. Please call now.
And 2RWH, Binghamton.
All right, and then that would like to also recognize N2RWH Ed. All right, moving on down the list, I have N2NCB. Paul, how was your week?
Hello again, Frank and all, into NCB here. Well, first of all, Discord, didn't even know that existed until I got an email from Vera asking me to join Discord for Vera members, so I did that. Not sure what's going on there yet, but be that as it may. So did that, and that's the extent of my knowledge on that, other than what you guys have been talking about. As far as the week goes, Saturday we finished up the tech class teaching, and so now next Saturday is the big event of testing. Looks like we're going to have close to 30 or 40, somewhere in that range, people taking their test next Saturday. We've kind of broken it up into two time periods. Most of the week was not too bad. Today we did some what I'll call minor spring cleaning. Uh, Needed to get some QSL cards out, so did that. And there are a couple of small, I call it small jobs, but they take a long time to do, if you know what that's all about. So got that done as well. And it's nice to see the sun out, the warmer weather. The wind sometimes is a little brutal, but it is March, and I know when the kids are around, March is a good time to fly kites. And I think with that, we'll turn it back to you, Frank. Take care, all. Into NCB.
Hey, very good there, Paul. And yeah, wow. If I heard that correct, you said 30 or 40 taking their test. That's a pretty big number, at least I think, for getting new hams in the area. And also, just by the way, I was thinking about it too. We do post our on our podcast. I actually have to get last week's out. I never got it out. But we do have our podcast that kind of takes out all the silences and just runs through what a net is like. I didn't know during that testing if you ever wanted to shoot over one of the links to that, just for anybody learning that, hey, this is what a net can look like. So, and it has the videos so people could follow along and stuff like that. But yeah, just a suggestion if it makes it helpful for your class at all. Feel free to use any of our podcasts, our podcast links there. So, and yes, to the Barra Discord. Yeah, this topic kind of also came up because I was talking with talking with Dennis there, actually, on the other on the Southern Tier hams Discord server, and I was kind of seeing that it was quiet. Barra has been actually getting some good activity in their Discord group, but I know the Barra Club server is closed. It's only two Barra members. So that STNY hams is more of an open for anybody to join in with. So, but they have been doing a great job, honestly, with their Discord servers. They've been getting a lot of good comments and stuff like that going. So, was looking for basically what we could do better. So, all right. I think that's all the comments I had there. But so we will move on down to our next station of KE2CLV. Travis, how was your week? Right, nothing heard there. Travis was on NetLogger, and I saw he keyed up, but not hearing anything now. So maybe Travis has checked out there. But we'll give it one more go around for KE2CLV. Travis, how was your week? All right, nothing heard there, so we'll move on down the list to N30JP. Nick, how was your week?
Oh, good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. That was a pretty good week. Of course, my thermometer got a good workout, going from 60 to 20, back and forth. It seemed for a couple of days, but finally made it up to Chautauqua Lake here. Got a break in the action. I've been pretty busy during the week. Still got a lot of snow on the ground in certain areas, so it's going to be a little bit before the snow is gone. But I want to try to do a little fishing. And Ron stopped over too. We're just sitting here and listening to the net. One of our clubs back home in Beaver County uses Discord a lot. Ray knows what I'm talking about, N3DQD. And they've got it broken down with several subjects. You know, they got one for like nano VNA, kit building, members only, digital. There's all different categories that people can go into, so it's not just lumped into one general tab. And there's a lot of activity. We use the video quite a bit. We'll do trainings, and even on Tuesday night we have like just a get together and talk about projects. So we use the Discord TV, as I call it, the video quite a bit, and it works pretty good. So yeah, it's been pretty good for the club. We've got a website, but that's really not used anymore. Everything goes through Discord, and it's pretty active back home. Okay, Frank, I'll turn it back to you. Ron and I will be listening to the net here. W2FJH and 30JP.
Hey, thanks, there, Mick, and thanks for the suggestions too. There, so we don't have kind of laid out topics like you said, the different subjects, and maybe I didn't really portray it that well. Maybe I should write something of a little blurb in like the welcome and rules or something, so maybe people are aware. In Discord though, if you scroll down on the STNY hams group, everybody should have access to what they have. It's a ham channels, and you should be able to freely create an additional channel under the ham channels to whatever you're interested in, APRS or like you said, digital, or different HF topics, digital HF, or digital voice. You should be able to create kind of your own. It's kind of just open. Whoever wants to create a channel there for any of those types of topics or anything that doesn't fit just a general discussion, I guess. So, and maybe that's my fault for not portraying that or showing that in part of the welcome. And yeah, we haven't got into any of the video or anything else. We're just trying to get some text activity kind of on ours, or what you're working on, the little projects, maybe some questions or things along those lines. Everybody feel free, to post that on our Discord. So, all right, next on the list is try that again. N3DQD Ray, how was your week?
Yeah, W2FJH, and that's from N3DQD. My week went well. Anna and I went to our Lions Club meeting on Thursday, and Anna was awarded an award for her outstanding service with the Lions by our district governor. That was really nice. I was really happy to see that, because she's very interested and involved in Lions. So to see that happen, I just felt really good. I don't really have anything more to add on the Discord channel because Mick and I are in the same ham club. So although I have not accessed it, I do hear a lot of chatter about it, so I have a pretty good idea of what goes on there. I do participate in some other IO groups, though. I'm involved with two of those. and they get a lot of traffic, a whole lot of traffic. And I also want to thank the guys for the input that I've received on the C4FM. I was aware that Wires X was proprietary, but I was just thinking of the general C4FM, the type that they use for public service and that kind of thing. Although here on the ham bands. Back to you. This is N3DQD.
Hey, very good there, Ray. And tell Anna, congratulations on receiving that award. And yeah, I did after the net last week. Also tell her I apologize. After the net last week, I realized I did have her in my page written down here that she was in the net, but I didn't have it in NetWalker, and I think I forgot to call on her last week. So do send my apologies that I forgot to call out her station. Yeah. So. All right. We do have KC2HSU Chris. He had checked in through NetLogger, but you had would like to be checked in and out. So thanks, Chris, for stopping by this evening. And the next on my list then is N2RWH Ed. How was your week?
And to RWH. Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Frank, for taking the net. Looks like we're having a good turnout here. So, other than that, I don't have a lot to say. Just learning a little bit about Discord because I have had no experience with it. So, other than that, definitely, I think everybody like me is looking forward to a little bit warmer weather this week coming up. So, turn it back to the net. This is N2RWH.
Hey, very good there, Ed. And yeah, with Discord, it's fairly straightforward to learn how to use, but also um, I mean, Google's your friend there, and I'm sure there is tons of material and probably even YouTube videos explaining how to do all sorts of different things with Discord. But yeah, it's just and also let me know. I'm not the guru in all things Discord, but if you do join Discord and you have any questions or anything, just let me know. But yeah, tons of information there. Um, if you did have any questions, also on Google, sure, probably some of the Google AI could probably also answer your question a lot faster than I could. By the time I even see your message, it might already have an answer for you. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital VoiceNet. I have reached the end of my list. So let's see if there's any additional stations that would like to check in this evening. Please call now.
KD3AJN.
All right, and we have KD3AJN Anna. And again, Anna, I'm not sure if you heard, but I do apologize. I think you tried to check in last week, and I must have just missed your station. So we will definitely get to you. So, KD3AJN Anna, how was your week?
Hi, Frank and Annette from KD3AJN. My week was good. As Ray said, I did receive the award, and I was very surprised. But I am very dedicated to my Lions, so that made my week very good. Other than that, nothing else special going on here. Have a good week, and I'll turn it back to you, KD3AJN.
So very good there, and thanks, and congratulations again on your award. All right, this is W2FJH with the STNY Digital Voice, and I've once again hit the end of my list. So let's see if there's any additional stations out there that would like to check in this evening. Please call now. All right, nothing heard there, so let's open it up for any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns. Please call now.
Here is N2 QSD.
And two, QFD mail. Fire away with your comments there.
Thanks, Frank. I wanted to wait till the end of the net. My pet project with WinLink was something I wanted to share with the net again. N2NRA and myself drove up and down the valley over the weekend, range testing the node that's located in Waverly. We've gotten pretty good coverage. We were able to get emails off as far down as Towanda at the Emergency Communications Center, so about a 16-mile range. Just using a Baofeng UV5R with all of its 5 watts to a quarter wave whip on top of the truck. The WinLink node is my call sign, November 2, Quebec Foxtrot Delta -1010, figures 10. It's located on Walker Hill in Waverly and has a good southerly view down the Susquehanna. Not so much east and west, but that's something we'll be exploring the next time we do range checks. And it was specifically designed for technician class operators and up, being a VHF 2-meter packet system. So, just wanted to pass it along, and thanks again for the net. Here's N2 QFD.
And thanks, Mel, for the update. And yeah, also at some point here, it's kind of hard with a toddler in the house to find some time for ham radio anymore. But at some point here, I'll have to touch base with you because I still have my Digi rig sitting here, and I just haven't done anything with it yet. So, and I'll have to connect it up to the radio and explore some digital modes, and maybe as you mentioned there, it's only 16 miles. I don't think your WinLink server might hit me, but you never know. So, all right, thanks, Mel. All right, any additional stations or any stations that have checked in with additional comments, questions, or concerns? Please call now. All right, hear nothing then. We might as well wrap things up here. Just a quick comment there. If we were going to have any additional stations checked in, I was hoping there's going to be at least 2, because little superstitious, but one more station would have been 13 check-ins, which I just think is unlucky there. So it's good we stopped at 12. So, all right, I'd like to thank Mal, Cliff, Dennis, Carlton, Paul, Travis, Mick, Ray, Chris, Ed F., and Anna for joining me this evening. We'll be returning this talk group back to normal amateur radio use. Everybody have a great and safe week there. This is W2FGH, and I'll be listening.